Hi everyone, today I'm here with Giacomo D'Angelo. He is the CEO of Streetlib, the biggest Italian aggregator abroad. Hi Giacomo.
Hey Eugene, what's up? How are you doing in Japan?
Good. It's so hot in here. All right, so let's talk about the current situation of self-publishing. What's going on?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me. Um, yeah, so self-publishing, we are an Italian company, but we try to have a truly global outlook. And also, we like to be very open with our, authors and publishers, so we basically offer our publishing platform to any kind of, authors and publishers uh, from Italy, but also from any other countries, basically. At the moment, we have, content providers for about 50 countries in the world.
Wow.
Of course, Italy is our Italian market, and so we are focused on the Italian market, and that's where most of our revenue comes from as of today. The self-publishing community is growing very quickly in Italy, and especially in the last 12, 18 months. We've been, so we saw a big growth in Italy when it comes to self-publishing content.
I guess also because of the pandemic, right?
Yes, of course. The lockdown in Italy has been a big factor of that. We are working in this. We've been working in this publishing community since 2008. So we were quite early, especially for Italy, and so we saw a big growth, in the last 18 months, especially when it comes to serious self-publishers and serious authors, because self-publishing is not only a second option for authors, but it's also more and more the best option going forward for authors, if they want to be serious about their author's career. So in the last, I would say 2-3 years, we saw that kind of authors coming up in Italy as well. The first 8 years, I would say that there were a lot of trial and errors among the publishing community. Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's been an organic growth. So it's very sustainable, I would say, the way we approach it in Italy. And so I'm pretty optimistic about the future, I would say. And we as Streetlib, but we try to do our best by providing tools and services to the publishing community. Our characteristic is that we provide like a comprehensive platform in which anybody in the publishing community have the chance to find something useful, if you like. So basically, any authors or indie publishers or even big publishers, they can find the service that they like to use for their own purposes. And the book industry is very widespread, and there are so many different goals that you can have, if you are a big publisher, if you are a medium size, or if you are a small imprint, indie author. So basically, we try our best to provide as many useful services as possible to these publishing communities.
Yeah, we also are gonna have chance to go in more in detail about your services. But for now, I'm kind of curious because everybody's just focused. But for example, Italian authors are focused more on the Italian markets, and then abroad, everybody keeps talking about the U.S. market, or sometimes UK, Canada, a little bit Australia, but I think there are also new emerging markets out there that we should start considering little by little. Maybe they're not as big, as the American market, but what do you think?
Yeah, that's exciting, I would say, to say the least. But sorry, I didn't answer to the second part of your question before, which is also about the international self-publishing market.
Yeah.
So I will try to provide like a comprehensive answer now. So if you think about just one figure, comes to mind. So the best estimation that I could get for the book market globally is at about $150 billion globally. Okay, cover price. So this is the final price for the final customers. And more than 70%, so 70%, more than 70%, it's outside the US. Okay, so the US market accounts for less than 30% of the global book market as of today. So that's, of course, an estimation. Nobody knows for sure, but that's pretty accurate. According to my research. So these highlights, in my opinion, the opportunity that we have in front of us. My thesis, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, is that in this decade, basically the global book market will become really global thanks to digital technologies. We never have this kind of technology that we have today, and so that's where the opportunities lies, in my opinion. So when it comes to, and I should also say that as Streetlib, we also are present in the US market because we have a branch in the US. We have an office in New York City, and we also operate from there directly to better serve the American self-publishing community. And our message here in Italy or there in the US is that, listen, the world is really big, so there are opportunities all over the world, all over the places. And this, comes down also to our role as an aggregator or as a distributor, because our job is to look around. I mean, every single day, we try to find as many, sales opportunity or sales channels as possible, So we not only intermediate to the Amazons, Apples, or Googles, those are kind of, the status quo in the digital economy, but we look for new opportunities, and so we look at China, we look at, Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, in addition to Europe and North America, and I know that if you, I have to deal with this kind of reaction every single day. So I know that the return of investment, of getting your books, your digital books in front of people in those, very far, countries or continents is not worth it. If you think about, if you think short term. Yeah. But with a kind of, but in my opinion, today is the moment where, you have to plant those seeds if you wanna, front run the opportunity in those countries. Right. And also, we are sorry, just one final thought on that, because we are a small company, and so we cannot pretend to be covering the entire world and to do anything exceptional, but we do our best to to connect shops and online retailers or subscription apps from other countries. Yeah.
You got 76 distribution partners. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a good starting point, I would say.
Yeah, because also I was thinking that in some countries, you can even sell books in English because they can read. There are people who can read in English. Maybe they're not English speakers, but they might be interested, right? So, for example,
absolutely.
I know that even in Germany, people can sell quite quite a lot of books just in English without the need of getting them translated into German. So I think it's a good starting point, like thinking about this kind of country.
So if you think about, so you touched about Germany, and I just want to say that Germany is also a big country for a big market for Italian content. There are so many people reading Italian in Germany, but other than this, just let me, because why the international markets, for instance, or the emerging markets are important, because not only nowadays we have the opportunity to digital connect, to connect those shops digitally without really huge upfront cost. But those countries are advancing really fast. So first of all, the number of people getting online in those countries are growing every single day, and if you think about it, the growing opportunities rely on those emerging countries and not in the Western countries. US and Europe, the digital penetration is already up to 100%, while in Africa or in Latin America, or in some countries in Southeast Asia, etc., the internet is still, a nascent things, I would say,
Yeah.
In addition to this, there is also the smartphone penetration, okay, which is growing a lot. In addition to this, with the smartphone and with the digital, with the internet, then there is also the social media platforms, so people more and more are getting used to, consume digital content in English, okay? So people from those far countries, they are willing to consume content produced in the Western countries because of the spread of social media. The awareness of those content is spreading really fast. So I mean, it's unprecedented, in my opinion, the opportunity that we are foreseeing for the future.
Cool. So now instead, let's talk about, because these points are all connected and represents a kind of an advantage, for the ones who decide to go wide. So let's talk about going wide. What does it mean, and what is the mindset behind such decision for authors? Because it's a big decision, everybody talks about going wide or exclusive. So what are your insights about it?
Yeah, so I have a very strong opinion on this matter. And so what I think at the end of the day is that, if we look ahead, and if we agree that we have to plan as a publisher, as an author, if you have to plan on a long term, then providing the exclusivity to anybody doesn't make any sense. So of course I speak with publishers and authors every single day, and I heard any kind of reason to provide exclusivity to a specific channel, and they are all right for their own reasons, but every time I think they are just thinking short term, and there can be many reasons for that, but then if you really think long term, all of them agree that providing exclusivity doesn't make any sense, because and on the other hand, we are in 2021 and we are living in this era of abundance, of digital abundance, so we can get at any time from anywhere any kind of content that we like. So doesn't make any sense to lock in your content to any platform, really, if you want to be successful as a content creator. So this is something that is the same for video makers, or for musicians, or for not only publishers, authors and publishers. So that's my point of view. Other than this, I would add that going wide is not only doesn't only mean that you wanna put your ebook or your, let's talk about ebooks, on as many channels as possible. It also means that you wanna maximize, the upside opportunities for your IP, for your asset. Your content is your asset. You have, you as a publisher, you have to think about in these kind of terms,
that's kind of a business asset. Basically, that's what it is.
Exactly. It is a business. Let's say this. It is a business. Otherwise, you have to do something else in order to pay the rent, So it is a business. So that's your asset. And with your asset, you have to, produce as many you have to convert this asset in as many formats as possible in order to tap into as many markets as possible, and by markets, I not only mean different countries, but also different, the audiobook market, the ebook market, the POD market, the hardcover market, etc., etc.
Yeah, because also if I'm listening, I love audiobooks, I'm not gonna buy your ebook. That's what it is. So
exactly,
if you cannot intercept, that segment of the audience, it's out.
Yeah. So there are many. You're right. Exactly. There are different level of thinking about this. There is the formats. There is the geographical distribution. There is also the business model. You as an independent author, you might decide that, for instance, for print in a specific continent, you maybe want to deal with a publisher, because that it makes sense for you, So that's the kind of mentality, and all this, in my opinion, means going wide,
Yeah, exactly. Because, for example, I was thinking now about Mark Dawson, who signed up with a big publisher for the paperback version of his books.
Exactly. It's multidimensional.
Yeah.
So going wide is a multidimensional concept, There is the format dimension, there is the geographic dimension, and there is the business model dimension. Maybe there will be no more than that.
Let's talk about these formats. So of course, for us, as indie authors, the ebook format usually is the ones that can provide it's more profitable for us usually, where also because we can leverage with the price.
Yeah.
Where the traditional publishers, but what about paperback, for example? What do you think?
So at Streetlib we made a choice. Which is that we want to tap into the paperback business, the paperback market, the audiobooks market, and the ebooks market. And those three markets, in our opinion, are the ones that any self-publisher should consider. And that's why we made the big choice to invest in those three markets, in those three formats, and to support those three formats natively into our platform. So basically, our platform nowadays allow anybody to upload their digital catalog and then to tap into these three markets, with different tools and services that we have implemented. So that's our vision for the multi-format approach, I should say. Mm-hmm. And for any of those three markets, we provide a bunch of different sales channels. There are many subscription apps for audiobooks, so there are many online and offline retail channels for the paperbacks, and so on. So when it comes to paperbacks, though, I should say that as of today, we are only able to manage the paperback distribution in Italy, because of course, we, as I said, we are still a small company and we have to do one step at a time. And being an Italian company, for us, the Italian market is our own country, and that's where we do all the needed, beta testing activities. So we now, provide like about 10 channels for paperbacks, in addition to Amazon. So any authors, can basically upload their, PDF, and they can either do the some printing activities. So if they need the printing copies for themselves or for delivering to whatever address, or they can activate the online distribution, into Amazon and into a bunch of other retailers, online retailers like EBS, Mondadori, etc.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's it is a big opportunity in my opinion, because it lowered the cost. Basically as a self-publisher, you don't have to deal with big upfront costs.
No, it's printing on demand. So
yeah, and then again you can tap into a new market.
Instead, what about the audiobooks?
Yes, so audiobooks.
Because especially abroad, it's a hot topic now abroad.
So let's start from Italy. In Italy, the audiobook market is still very nascent. So in 2020, we had a big jump of more than 90% of growth in the market. But in my opinion,
sorry, 18
is still very
18.
92 to be precise.
Wow.
Yeah. From 2019.
That's a big leap. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been 92% growth year over year in terms of publishing revenue. Okay, in Italy. But there are still only two big players, which are Audible and Storytel. So I would say that the market is not very. It's still early on. It's still very early. So there is no, I expect in the next 6 to 8 months at least another 3 international players coming up in Italy. To provide basically an all-you-can-eat subscription app for the Italian market. Okay, and this will open up the market a little. I hope more and more, and this will level the playing field a little bit for publishers, and this will allow the unhealthy audiobook market to develop in Italy. Okay, but as for now, we are still very early on.
Can you mention them?
I'm not sure if I can, but I will. There is Kobo coming up pretty soon. I don't know how, but Kobo did some claims about their launch in Italy about Kobo Plus, the limited subscription program. Then there will be U-Book from Latin America, and then in my opinion, this is just my personal opinion, Nextory from the Nordics coming up to Italy. Cool. So those will be providing subscription apps, for audiobooks. In addition to the a la carte options that we already have in Italy, like in Narratore, Google Play, etc. Okay.
Right. Cool. So,
and internationally, of course, the market is much more developed, and so especially in the Nordic countries and in North America. But in other countries, the audiobook format is not really a thing still, even if we always read about big titles regarding the audiobook market, but still as of today, other than Sweden and the Nordic countries and North America, there is not much, but it's coming up, of course, not yet. Exactly.
Okay, so now let's dive into technical questions that I want to know about the platform. So first of all, the new dashboard. Let's talk about the dashboard.
Yeah, so the dashboard is a dashboard. So basically, you as an author, or a publisher, basically you will get an overview of your digital publishing business. That this is what it is. And if you feel that, means that we did a good job. Otherwise, we have to fix something. Yeah, so basically, our goal at Streetlib is to provide you the basic infrastructure to manage your business, your publishing business, and that's
where the
dashboard comes from.
Are the reports updated regularly?
Yes, we do the reports updates every bunch of hours, like 2 or 3 hours. But of course, then it comes down to what the retailers make available to us, basically. So there are some retailers or some apps that are more transparent or more efficient, and so our reports are better for those apps, of course.
Okay, cool. And also you provide a mobile app, which is interesting. What is it?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so basically, since you are using Streetlib to manage your digital business, our guess is that you wanna check how it is going, even when you are around. So with your mobile app, you can basically tap into your analytics, and then you can check at any single, wherever you are, you can check at how your books are doing, basically.
Okay, cool. But for uploading our books, we gotta use the computer at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Even because there are some limitations around the upload to mobile.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, but also technical limitation, according to the mobile operating system. So we are not unlocking those features, from mobile, but you will find more and more features when it comes to check what's going on with your business within the mobile app. So not only the analytics, but also the way our books are distributed, or the feedback that we get from the retailers, because sometimes we get negative feedback because there are some technical problems, so all those feedbacks will arise. And then you will also get some, we are working on a new notification system that you can basically set up in order to get notifications on the go regarding your sales, regarding your invoices, regarding the payments, etc., etc.
Okay, then another hot topic, royalties. How does it work? Yeah, with Streetlib.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We take a revenue share on your sales. So basically, we get paid if you are successful on our platform, and that's why we like this model, because it aligns perfectly our interest with our author's interest or publisher's interest. In fact, we call them partners and not customers for this reason. We try to do our best. Once you choose Streetlib in order to spread your catalog and manage your digital business, we try to do our best in order to make you successful. That's how it works, basically. So out of the our revenue share, it's on the sales price for ebooks, but it's on the payout on the audiobooks. Okay. So basically, and it's on the sales price on POD. So we have 3 markets, as I said before, and we take a revenue share on those 3 markets, of course. But the way we calculate the revenue share is a bit different for audiobooks, because in the audiobook business, the business model is usually subscription based. And so we don't know. So we only take the percentage on the payout from the app. Okay.
What's the percentage on ebooks?
So the default percentage is 10 on ebooks, 10%, and then 20% on audiobooks and 10% on paperbacks. That's the default that you can find on the website as well.
Cool. All right. Let's talk about also the professional publishing services that you offer through radiobooks.io.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah, again, these are available only in Italian for now, but basically, what we are building at Streetlib is a comprehensive platform in order to fix and solve any possible need across the value chain, across the publishing value chain. So we have a lot of authors and publishers who need support on the pre and post production services. So basically, we have an e-commerce website where anybody can buy our editorial services and get help on those services, like the typesetting or the proofreading services or editorial services, or the cover, or even not only those, but now we are also adding more and more services also for the managing the marketing and the promotional side of the business. So basically, how we do this. So over time, we built a network of publishing professionals working with us that are at disposal of our publishing community, basically. So the difference here is that instead of just putting a link on our website, as many other platforms, I think they do like this, and redirecting you on different agency, we try to provide, how to say, a seamless, publishing experience where you can do everything on the platform. Right. We are. I mean, we believe that in the power and in the convenience of the technology. So that's why that's our approach.
Are you planning to open such services to foreigners as well?
Oh yes. We are working on this, and I cannot say a specific date, a precise date, but probably later this year we will be
okay, so it's gonna be soon. No, that's good.
And, I mean, in the next 6 to 9 months, that's our plan, but we'll see.
Great. All right. Okay, so now let's talk about suggestions for indie authors. First of all, metadata, because sometimes they're underlooked. Metadata.
No. I mean, this comes without saying. Metadata important, of course. And we encourage anybody to provide as many metadata as possible, and not only this, but also to provide highly curated metadata, like the genre or the description, the abstract. So not only the title and the subtitle, because those are like digital items that those go online, and then they have to be searchable. And I mean, it's 2021. Come on.
Yeah.
So everything is gonna be online. Yeah.
Yeah, even sometimes for categories, somebody like just selects random categories, and then it's kind of
yeah. But then nobody can find your books. I mean, it's mandatory. You have to take care of your metadata as well as all the other aspects of your product, I would say. So nowadays there are more and more content going online. So working well on the product that you're publishing is absolutely necessary. So I like to stress this point anytime. So you gotta be willing to invest in your content, in your product. You want to have a very nice cover. You want to have perfect metadata. You want to have your content to be edited by someone else.
Formatting as
professionally. You want to be exactly. You want to format the content perfectly. Because nowadays there are tools which are very cheap, and so there is no excuses. You have to be putting the work there. Otherwise, you don't have any chance. So that's mandatory, in my opinion. You want to be able to have the best product possible, before approaching, the global distribution.
Okay, and then another, maybe the main headache for indie authors, right after they finish their book, and then they decided, okay, I'm gonna self-publish it. Okay, so the main headache then it becomes the book marketing aspect of it. So what are your suggestions for indie authors, especially newbies, because maybe they have no idea, that they might think, okay, well, I'm going to publish this book on this platform, and then it's done. People will find it and they're going to buy it. Is it that how it works?
I don't think so. So there are any kind of, again, short-term tactics, that people are claiming, that people are teaching, that people are selling to indie authors. Like, for instance, providing exclusivity to some platforms in order to get some promotional, help, or like, buying online advertising in order to get some, exposure through some social media, etc. But in my opinion, those are like short-term tactics that might work or not, because those are like, short-term oriented, I would say, so there is a lot of, trends that you can, take advantage of. But if you really want to build a career, you have to think long-term, so you have to build your own platform online. So you have to invest in your own website, and you have to have your own voice. You have to be able to reach your audience directly. You have to be able to collect, the name and the email address of your fans. And you have to be able to, build your audience and build the relationship with your audience in a very steady and sustainable way. There is no shortcuts there, really.
And it takes time. It's not something that,
of course,
overnight.
Of course, it takes time, and you have to be able to find the right path to be that. It's not easy, of course. There is no shortcuts. Those promotional activities, or those exclusivity deals, etc. Those looks like shortcuts. In many cases, probably, they can be useful. But that being said, I rather, since you are asking, I rather put the emphasis on the long-term strategy.
Okay. So such as, for example, a mailing list.
Yeah. Of course. That's what I was referring for instance. Yeah.
All right. So last question is, I'm curious about, how did you start the collaboration with Mark Williams? Because he is quite famous. In the community, he writes for the Alliance of Independent Authors. He's a member also, of course, of the Alliance of Independent Authors. Also, he writes for the New Publishing Standard. So how did you start? That's so cool.
Thank you for this question, because I really like to explain it a little bit. So basically, the New Publishing Standard is an online magazine that I really suggest anybody to look into, because it's full of real gems, I would say, regarding the international publishing community. So it's not covering breaking news, but it provides very thoughtful analysis regarding the publishing ecosystem, I would say. Also, it's also very focused on the emerging markets. So you will find that you will find like some analysis that you won't find anywhere else. That's for granted. So I will really encourage anybody interested to look into this, to look into that. So Mark Williams is the most knowledgeable person I ever not met, but he met, yes, in the publishing community. He lives in the Gambia in Africa, so he chose to do a specific kind of lifestyle. He was a successful author, indie author, back in the days of, in the early days of self-publishing. So in the past decade, I would say. And yeah, so now he decided to basically to give back to the community all the knowledge that he can, and basically, we met online in some forums, and then we decided to start the new publishing standard together, because he had this, he was willing to give back to the community and to basically share his insights and perspective on the publishing community, because those are really interesting times. I mean, we are living in really interesting times. The digital revolution that we are seeing is really incredible, and so he's excited as much as I am. And so basically, nowadays the new publishing standard is a side project of Streetlib. It's completely, I mean, it's just part of Streetlib, but it's an independent project. So he runs the show alone. There is no in fact, you might not even find the Streetlib name or mention in the website, because it's completely independent. But of course, he's a great guy, and he knows how to manage his stuff, and we are having a great time together. I like to think about it as a way to walk the walk. So basically, with the new publishing standard, we highlight all the opportunities that there are in the world, and then with Streetlib, we try to to provide the tools and the services to tap into those opportunities. Okay. So the gap between the claim and the actual tools is still a little bit wide, but we're trying to close the gap. That's our job.
Cool. Okay, so Giacomo, where can we find Streetlib?
At streetlib.com.
Cool, super easy. All right, so thank you very much. We wish you all the best for your projects, to you and to all the Streetlib staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene. Thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.